Welcome to The Outlet, everyone. I'm your host, Lindsay Smith, and I've got a fun guest in studio with us today. Self-proclaimed #1 Suns fan or something along those lines.
I like to call myself the #1 Suns fan out there.
Yes, and that is Brandon Awadis. Thank you for stopping by.
Of course, thank you for having me.
I'm so glad we were able to catch you because I've been wanting to get you on this podcast for a while because you've got a lot of stories, I'm sure, that we can absolutely listen to. And being such a big Suns fan, like, I got to know, first things first, like, where did that fandom come from? How did you become a Suns fan? Because you don't live in Phoenix.
I don't. I've actually, my first time in Phoenix was just like 3 years ago. I'd never been here before that. I'm from San Diego. There's no basketball team in San Diego, but you know where everybody hops on if there's no team. It's the Lakers.
Lakers, Clippers,
yeah,
maybe if you're lucky.
Exactly, yeah. And I just never got into that. My parents would always get me when I was younger, like, Laker jerseys, and I'd be like, I don't know, because I was more of a Steve Nash, Amari Stoudemire, Sean Marion. That's when I started getting into it. I was probably like 9 or 10 years old, and I just fell in love with Steve Nash, Amari, Sean Marion, those kind of days, and now here we are.
Was it just like from watching it on TV,
I think,
or did somebody show you a Suns game, or did you find a clip online, or what was it?
It was more so like coming back from elementary school or middle school. My mom would have cartoons on the TV, and I'd be like, let me get the remote, and I'll just go to ESPN or NBA TV. And the Suns back then were, fast-paced, run and gun. They were the fun, the fun team back then. So I just caught on, and then ever since then, it's
just been a consistent in your life.
Very consistent.
So how has it changed over the last few years? Because I know a couple years ago, what was it, 2 years now that you got to meet Devin Booker?
Yeah.
And I feel like since then it's kind of gone up a level every year, basically.
Yeah, I mean, as you could tell, I'm over here right now, which is something I never thought that I would be doing. But a couple years ago, my girlfriend at the time and my mom, they set something up with Devin where he showed up at my house. And I had no idea. So when he showed up, I was like, honestly, I was like, what? I didn't know what to think. And we kind of just, because he's kind of my age. He's 22 now and I'm 23. So we just kind of friends from then. And then now a lot of the other players follow me and I talk to them. And it's just crazy because when I was younger, I would always just, like I said, I'd never been to Phoenix a couple years ago. And now it's like I'm here. I'm close with the players. And it's just crazy. It's crazy. Growing up, I never thought it would be like this. So it's cool. It's fun.
Okay, so you got to break it down for us because I'm sure everyone out there is like, how can I get Devin Booker to come to my house and hang out with me? How did they manage to pull that off?
I think,
was it all social media?
Yeah, because Devin had been following me just because I was like a huge Suns fan. I had never met him before, but we had followed each other. So I think once they got in contact with him, and he already knew kind of who I was, not too much. And then his little sister likes my videos too, so I think that helped.
Okay.
That helped a little bit. And just ever since then, but also probably staying consistent, being a Suns fan, never switching up on the team, and showing a lot of support. So
which is super important.
Yeah.
Especially when, like, there's so many ups and downs in sports in general. Like, it doesn't matter if it's this year, if we're talking about the last however many years. In life, in general, anytime you're a sports fan, you're always going to have ups and downs.
Always,
so you just got to stick around because it makes the ups that much more sweeter.
Yep.
So what's your favorite Suns memory?
My favorite Suns memory is obviously the 70-point game is up there. That's up there for sure.
Where were you watching that game at?
I was at my house. I remember at halftime, I think he had 19 points. So it's just like, just any other game. Okay, Book has 19.
So Book's going to go off for 35 tonight.
Yeah,
whatever,
exactly.
no big deal.
And then I just started watching closer and I'm like, wait, he has like 40 now and it's only this quarter. And I'm like, okay, this might be special. But yeah, I was just at my house watching that. Another memory is the 2010 playoff run when we went to the Western Conference Finals. Lost to the Lakers, but I think that year was really fun.
Yeah.
That year was really fun for me.
You can't beat that one.
Yeah, I was 14 years old at the time, so.
So wait, how old were you when you started? Did you tell me, was it 8?
I was like 9, 10 years old.
Gotcha.
Very young, very, very young.
Been a fan for a little while
now.
Have you gotten your family to get on board with the Suns, or are they into basketball?
Oh, they're very into basketball. Okay. Let's just say
when the allegiance lie?
Yeah, when the Lakers play the Suns, we don't like to be in the same house.
God.
So there's that. My family they're pretty big Laker fans, so
little bit of probably a little trash talk going on every once in a while.
Yep.
I can only imagine.
Yep.
Are they super stoked right now about this season, just having LeBron on the team and all that hype built up again in LA?
Yeah, it's funny though because a lot of Laker fans before they didn't like LeBron.
Right.
They didn't want LeBron.
Well, nobody likes LeBron when he's not on your team.
Exactly. So now that he's on the team, it's like, oh, we got LeBron.
And I've been a fan of LeBron forever, right?
Yeah. So it's just like, stop, please. I don't want to hear it. Like, Suns talk and that's it. I don't want to hear anything else.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so we got the story of how you met Book.
Mm-hmm.
So how has that relationship kind of progressed since that time? Because I know we've seen videos on your page, like you going to Book's house, Book kicking your butt in some ping pong.
I would say Book's a pretty close friend of mine right now. I talk to him every once in a while. He hits me up every once in a while. When I did go to his house, he beat me in ping pong. First, he beat me with his right hand. Then he beat me with his left hand.
Well, I mean, we've all seen from this season especially that he's pretty good with his left hand.
Exactly. So I was like, okay, pull out your phone. Put the paddle away. Just pull your phone out. The phone's like this big. It's an iPhone.
Right. So it makes it a little bit challenging because you don't have as much space.
Yeah, you don't have space. And he didn't have a case. So I'm like, okay, he might be worried about breaking his camera lens. This was before he signed his max contract. So I'm like, maybe he's a little bit more worried. And he beat me with his phone. Like this big. And I was like, all right, I'm done.
Were you halfway embarrassed or was it halfway like, I mean, it's Book. What isn't this guy good at?
Yeah, I was embarrassed, and then I'm like, okay, this guy scored 70. He's in the NBA.
Yeah.
I could take the loss. I could take it.
Sometimes when I look at Book and there's something else that he does that he's really good at,
Yeah.
I just get so jealous, angry that I'm just like, can you just throw me one thing? Like,
just let me win.
Good at one thing that you're not better at. Like, it's just everything.
That, yeah.
It drives me nuts, but it's like, I guess it's just one of those, those human beings that just kind of gets to be better than everyone else at everything. Okay, Game of Zones. So last year you had a cameo on a episode of Game of Zones. Mm-hmm. What was that like when you heard that, when you saw that? What was your reaction?
So first, the people who, like Bleacher Report, where it comes from, they never like contacted me or anything, so I had no idea. It was a huge surprise. I was on Twitter for a little bit, and my notifications started to blow up, and I was like, what's going on? Like, did the Suns make a trade? Like, did one of my videos, something happen with my videos? And instead, it was a bunch of people screenshotting because it was a quick cameo.
Right.
And I was, it was my name, Awadis, was on the back of the cape, and I was like, oh, wow, this is cool. I don't really follow Game of Thrones too much.
I know, and we talked about this a little bit before we started recording this podcast. And I'm going to give you a little bit of grief about it. Only because I was the same way. When I first started working here with the Suns, everybody on my team was like, Game of Zones is so awesome. You got to start watching it. And I was such a little hater. I was like, it's too long. I'm so far behind. I don't want to do it. Blah, 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 blah. Then I started watching it, and it is so fantastic.
Really?
I'm not even kidding. Like, I'm not hyping this up just for the sake of hyping it up. Like, I was one of those people who had to eat my words.
Okay.
So, I think you should watch it.
Okay.
Because especially the new season, isn't it the last season, I think, too, is coming out this summer?
You're asking me?
So, like, it's the perfect time to binge.
Okay.
And then you get to enjoy Game of Zones even more, which
That's
is
what I'm
the
saying.
best part of it.
Because I was already kind of, like, in shock, like, wait, is that really me, like, on Bleacher Report? So, imagine if I actually knew everything about it. So, yeah, it was cool. I'll for sure start watching.
I mean, at least a couple episodes.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll get hooked after a couple, so it'll turn into the whole thing. So
exactly, that's how I felt. I was like, okay, I'll give it a simple try, and then we'll kind of go from there.
Okay.
So hopefully we'll see you again on another Game of Zones this upcoming season.
Hopefully.
So, okay, within that, you were kind of mentioning, like, your mentions blow up when something happens around the Suns. Because I've seen that just being a follower, too. Like, if something big happens, all the comments are people like, did you see this? Did you see this? Brandon, did you see this? So you never miss a moment. Basically, when it comes to the Suns.
No,
you're always in the know.
Exactly. Either it's me, myself, that see it, because I follow a lot of the reporters around the league, or if I miss it, then my phone just starts buzzing, and I'm like, oh, what happened?
Wait,
that's the first thing I think of.
Notifications on?
From people I follow, and I give a lot of fans follows, so
Gotcha.
they tweet
like,
to me.
How does your phone even stay charged?
I know.
It just constantly be going off.
Yeah, when I was younger, my phone would start buzzing. I'd be like, oh, what did I do wrong? My mom's calling me, my dad's calling me. But now it's like, oh, what did the Suns do right now? So it's a little bit of a difference from the past couple of years.
Yeah, I bet. So what about recently? Like, I know you go out to Summer League quite often.
Yeah.
So we talked about favorite memories on the court
Uh-huh.
with the Suns. What about favorite memories off the court?
Off the court, I
Yeah.
just my favorite thing is that I think how they're all kind of around my age. Most of the team is around my age, so I feel like I just connect. Like I'll see the players, and even if I don't know them too close, oh hey, what's up? And it's like I know them or I've talked to them because a lot of them follow me before I meet them, or I follow them before I met them. So it's like when I meet them, we already, you know how big social media is. It feels like you know the person even if you haven't met. So I feel like I'm pretty close with a lot of the team. Like last night I met DeAndre for the first time. Mikal Bridges, I met him once before that, but it feels like, we were already close. That's probably my favorite thing is just talking to the players on not just a basketball, not just about basketball, but, you could talk to them about like video games or just about other things in life, playing basketball, like just different things. That's probably my favorite thing about from the past couple years of just being a fan to where I am now. I think that's my favorite thing.
It's crazy to see how different this team has kind of become. From even when you said, like, when you first started watching the Suns, it was like, it felt like they were older guys. And maybe it's just because we were so young that somebody even being 24 seems like forever until I'm going to get to that age.
Yep.
Now you're like the same age as these people. You can kind of relate to it. And you have the same interests. I mean, because if you're younger, you're going to enjoy the same type of music. The same TV shows or video games or whatever it may be.
And just like when I was younger, because I was in San Diego and my mom was a little more strict. I love you, Mom. She was a little more strict, so I was never allowed to travel by myself. So I was never able to make it out to Phoenix. So when I would watch all the games on my TV, I would buy NBA League Pass every year. I would just be like, dang, imagine one day if I was like seeing that court in person. That was just a couple years ago, and now it's like seeing the court, seeing the player, being closer to the players. It's just everything just, I don't know. It's still surreal. It's crazy. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, so when was your first game?
My first game
finally got to Phoenix.
It was against the Indiana Pacers. It was the year when the Suns were supposed to be really bad, but they ended up winning 48 games. It was 2013-14 season. That's when I finally came out with my friend. He drove me out here, and we won that game. It was on ESPN. That was when we had Gerald Green and Dragic, Eric Bledsoe, and it was. I was looking at the court. I was like, wait, so this is real? Like, it's not a video game what I see on TV every day. It was crazy. That day was pretty crazy.
Was that your first time at any arena or just this?
No,
arena?
I would go to the Laker games against the Suns in Staples Center, and I would always try to get the seats by the locker room just so I could stick my hand out and get a high five from the players. Sometimes I used to be shorter, so I wouldn't be able to reach all the way. But sometimes I remember Steve Nash was the first player I ever met. He was the first player I met. And
how was that? How was that interaction? Because everything I've ever heard about Steve is phenomenal.
I wish I had the video because I had never met a player or a celebrity. I never met anyone big in my life. So when I saw him, I was just like, and the first thing I said, I love you. I didn't know what to say. I held my jersey out, and instead of, oh, hey, Steve, or anything, I said, I love you, Steve. And we used to have a video, but I don't know where it went. It might be on someone's Facebook, one of my family members' Facebook.
Yeah, you're going to have to find that.
I need
and
to.
you're going to have to send it to me. I need to see that.
Yeah, and I was like, I was small, chubby, and like it was just so funny.
Do you remember what his reaction was like?
Yeah, he was talking to somebody else, and then when I said it, he kind of looked at me, he laughed, and then he was like, I don't know, I don't think he knew what to say.
You too, man.
Yeah, I know exactly. It was like that. It was exactly like that. But I think it was funny. It was really funny after, not at the time. I was like, what did I just say? But after now, it's pretty funny to think about.
Okay, so is it surreal for you now coming to games? Because I mean, you were here when the Lakers were in town a little while ago. Yeah. So, I mean, and you're sitting on the on the bench.
Yeah.
Like you're in that little corner between the bench and then the next section like, near the basket.
Yeah.
So, like, how much has that changed? Are there times where you walk in and you're in those seats, or after a game you look back and you're like, I can't believe that I get to do this, and this is where I'm at right now.
Yeah, it's honestly every time. Like sometimes I'll be nervous coming to a game or maybe shooting a video with one of the players, and my mom will be like, isn't this like your 10th time doing it? And I'll be like, Mom, you don't understand, like it still doesn't feel real. Like I've only been doing YouTube for 2.5 maybe 3 years, so everything to me, it's 3 years I think in a couple months right now. So everything is still so new, but I feel like even if I've been doing it for a whole decade, it would still, just because of how big of a fan I was growing up, it still is surreal. And I always look back. I remember when I was a kid watching these games and how it is now. I always I don't think I'll ever forget the difference it was from watching it before and how it is now. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So when the Lakers came to town and I was watching the game, I'm sitting right on the bench and there'll be a play where they'll be like, oh, you should have gone over there and over there. And they're kind of like talking to me like, oh, he should have done that. And I'm just there like, are you talking to, you're talking to me? Oh, yeah, I know. He should have cut over. Yeah. I was like, damn, like, yeah, it's very surreal. And I'm still not fully caught up to, oh, this is normal for me to just talk to the players and say what's up. I'm still not caught up to that, but
I feel like it's a normal thing because there are times, like we've talked about it here too, there are times where when the arena is completely empty and you're just heading downstairs to get your laps in, get a break from your computer or whatever, get some equipment to set up a shoot, and you're in an empty arena and it's lower lighting and you're just kind of like, man, this place is so crazy that I work here every day. You know what I mean? Or that we're a part of this. And it's like, yeah, I've been doing it for a while now, but
you're not used to it.
Every once in a while you just get that little, you kind of check yourself again where you're like, I can't believe that I'm so lucky to be able to do this.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it is.
Really cool.
Yep.
Okay, so you said you've only been doing YouTube for a couple years. For whatever reason, I was thinking it was like you started when you were like 14, 15 years old or something like that. So how did that whole thing start then?
Okay, so I used to work at a grocery store. My first year of college, I was like a bagger, like pushing carts, bagging. And I just want to give a quick shout out to my boss because he had the Phoenix Suns schedule printed in his office because every time there would be a Phoenix Suns game, he would make sure to let me go home before the game would start.
Okay, yes. Shout out to that
boss. Yes, exactly. Yeah, and I still talk to him all the time. I still talk to him to this day. Yeah, so I would never miss a game, even working a job like at a grocery store. But
real quick, if you're a boss and you're listening, you need to be this kind of a boss.
Please.
I'm just saying. Let's elevate. Let's elevate to that level.
And it worked out. So eventually a new company bought out that store and they wanted to hire a bunch of new workers. So they laid off all the lower end workers, like the baggers and stuff. So I got laid off. And I was still going to college, so my parents were like, okay, instead of finding a new job right away, just focus on school. So while I was focusing on school, I decided to start YouTube, but it wasn't doing what I was doing now. I would just talk about basketball, just set a camera, sit in my chair and talk about basketball. And
was it always Suns games or was it?
It was everything. Yeah, it was. Everyone knew I was a Suns fan, but I would talk about everything, just trying to build my audience up.
Okay.
And that wasn't working too well, so I started doing more outside, like real life things that people would want to see. And then ever since I started doing that, that's what really blew up. So I still have my channel that I started with. I think it's like at 100 or 200,000 subscribers, so it's still pretty good, but no one really watches those videos. But that's what I started with, and then ever since I created the one that drew more audience and got better feedback, I just started rolling with that. Ever since then,
That's awesome.
It's very cool.
I don't know why. Again, I just kind of figured it was like a long time ago that
a lot
you
of people
jumped
think
onto
that.
it. Well, yeah. I mean, I feel like a lot of times when it's YouTube, it's like the original, like the OGs of YouTube.
I know.
And, And that's really awesome that you were able to kind of like make that happen, even in a time that was pretty saturated. Right?
Thank you.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
very cool.
Thanks.
Okay, so I've seen pictures on your social media. Anytime you're actually playing basketball, you were fully decked out in like the Suns getup.
Yeah,
so
always.
Tell me, like, where did that come from? How much do you love that, and do you get a little bit of crap for doing it?
Oh, my friends, like I said, not just my family, but also my friends are Laker fans. So I'm like, and we love playing basketball together. So I'm like, okay, if you want to play, we're going to wear Suns jerseys. They're like, no, I'm not wearing a Suns jersey. I'm like, yeah, you are. Or else I'm just going to go on a different team. And they're like, come on. I'm like, no, I care about that. You don't care what jersey you wear. I want to wear a Suns jersey. And so I have, I play in like some league in San Diego, and I have a Suns jersey, Suns shorts, and you see all my friends who, it might not be funny to other people because they don't know them, but I know, they're Laker fans and just fans of other teams, and I see them wearing a Suns jersey, and I'm just laughing like during a game, but yeah, always
just gives you a little joy, deep down inside.
Yeah,
I get it.
It's funny to me knowing them and then seeing them wear the Suns jersey. It's funny to me.
Are you good at basketball?
Devin beat me.
Well,
so I mean, if you compare it to that, then no.
We know we already established this. We cannot compare anybody to Devin because it just doesn't. It's not fair.
I myself.
Out of your friends, are you the best?
Oh, my friends can't compete with me.
Okay.
My friends can't compete with me. If you guys are watching this, you know that.
No lies spoken.
Yeah,
here.
no lies. But there are a lot of people on social media who are like, "Oh, the Suns need an extra player. Why don't you go try out?" That kind of good.
Level.
Yeah, it's not that level. No,
It's
I'm.
like, listen, guys, I appreciate the love and support, but also let's keep it a little real.
Yeah,
here.
I'm 5'9", 140 pounds. I'm not stepping on an NBA court anytime soon. So.
Oh God. What position do you play?
I like to play point guard or shooting guard.
Okay.
Yeah, no big man in me, not
No,
yet. So.
yeah. We established that 5'9",
exactly.
pounds.
Yep. Exactly.
But again, most of your friends, I'm sure, are also like 6'7"
No,
guys.
no. They wouldn't be my friends if they could beat me at basketball.
Okay.
I'm just joking.
A prerequisite, if you guys are wondering, you know. What about video games? You good at video games?
My brother is very good at video games, if that's what you're asking. My brother loves video games. No, I personally, like, just holding a controller feels awkward to me. I don't know why.
Really?
Yeah, it's hard for me to play video games. Has
it always been the case? Okay, like, are we talking forever, even back, like, Nintendo 64s and...
like PlayStation 2
or PlayStations or whatever.
Yeah, I used to play. I was just never good. So then now when you get older and I'm like, okay, you get busier. I'm like, I don't have time to play. So if I'm not good, why am I even gonna play? I'm not good at all.
All right. So here's the deal. NBA Live 19 is a sponsor of ours, and I am getting my hands on a few copies here shortly.
Okay.
So what we're gonna have to do is the next time we get to hang out, because I've never played NBA Live 19.
Okay.
So we're both probably on an equal playing field.
Yeah, I would say that.
We should have a competition. Because I think that it would only be fair if we played each other. Because if you played Book, or if I tried to play Book, or DeAndre, or any of the guys on the team who we all know are really good at video games, it just wouldn't be fair.
Yeah, no. I think it would be a fair game.
Yeah,
I think that would be a fair game.
I'll dip my toes in here on the video game side with you, and then I'll take on the challenges of those guys a little bit later.
Yeah, I've seen some people, like when I make a video with Devin, some people have made videos with him. And I'm just like, let's not even talk. That won't be a discussion. I would get killed.
No, man. We can't go down that route.
Yeah, no. And you'd figure because I play so much basketball that I would at least be decent at like NBA Live, but not even that. So.
I mean, sometimes. So, at least when it comes to like the old school video games, so we have, what are they called? But what's that thing called? An arcade machine. Thank you to our producer, Nick, for helping me with that brain part there. We have arcade games here at the arena, and I have played, like, NBA Jams and a couple games on there. And sometimes I feel like if you just hit a bunch of buttons, it'll work for you. Like, I did decently by just hitting a bunch of buttons. And to be fair, in my defense, that arcade game is really hard because every game has a different set of like rules, and the buttons all have different, like the controls and whatnot. So it's like you can't really know how to use it, and even if you do get to know, it's kind of like, whatever.
I mean, if you're going into our game just with the mindset of pressing a bunch of buttons, I'm not too worried about losing. So you could keep that mindset. That's fine.
Okay.
That's fine with me.
Now you're gonna start with the
I didn't know
talk.
that was your mindset. Just press a bunch of buttons. At least I know which one to shoot and stuff.
You just told me you were so bad at video games. I'm not bad at video games. I've just never played it before.
Okay.
I was just trying to throw you a bone if you ever went to like an arcade bar or something. My goodness. Now this is getting real. And
I'm a competitor.
This competition has like been taken to a whole nother level. So I hope you expect some serious stuff.
I'm ready.
Oh my God, I cannot wait for this to happen now. And if I beat you, you know I'm taking this little section here and I'm posting it. Yeah. Just a heads up.
You might need to post that because I wouldn't be back if you beat me, so you could use this and post it. I'm just joking.
I was like, you can't be that salty
No.
if I beat you. That's not fair.
No, I'm a competitor, though. When it comes to I don't like to lose, whether it's video games, basketball, or anything. I don't like to lose.
No, I'm with you. Like, okay, you don't play basketball professionally. Neither do I. But we're all involved in that world. Yeah. So that competitor and that competitiveness is still a part of you.
Yep.
Like, you're not on the court playing the game, but it's still deep down inside. You're like, God, I just want to whoop on this guy right now.
Yeah, like
so bad.
It could be like a pickup game at the gym where you're playing with just your friends, and it'll start out all fun, but once it comes close to us losing, like, what are you doing? Like, no, I'm not trying to lose.
And then all of a sudden, like, your friendship's like on the line.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like, listen, man, if this doesn't happen, we can't be friends right now. I need a break from you for at least a month.
No, I don't know anyone who likes to lose, so We'll see.
Oh, gosh. I'm so excited for this. Oh, it's going to be so fun. Brandon, before I let you go, anything else Suns related that I didn't ask you that's a great story or a memory or something that you can share with us that's really interesting?
I just think that it's really cool how when I was younger, everybody knew me as that Suns fan ever since I was a kid. And then even now where I've taken like a bigger step in my life, that it kind of stuck with me. I know a lot of people who change from when they're younger to when they're older. There's nothing wrong with that. But I'm glad that I'm known as, you know, a Suns fan and, oh, that guy loves the Suns. So I'm just glad that it stuck with me. And I'm ready for us to be very competitive again. So I can't wait for those days.
I love that. That's awesome. Well, thank you again for stopping by. It's been fun. And looking forward to whooping up on you in a little NBA Live 19.
That's not going to happen. But thank you for having me, though.